Okay. Oh, I've got 9 minutes, that's fine. Good evening, Seekers. This is Black Pope Vice. I'm on the Secret Grove seclusion spot. I forgot what I call one of the nicknames for this place, but this is the property. And I'm going to talk a little bit about magic stuff and terraforming your own space, because I hope one day you guys have your own property. So we cleared out a lot of brush, and there's just so much more space, and I'm really glad it looks like this. It's in the redwoods. There's some oaks. I think we're gonna keep like that oak tree right there. I want to keep that. Put like a tree house in there in 10 years. Needs to be healthier. We gotta heal it. My sister showed me something, and it really is kind of a little spooky. So now she says she's gonna look into asking the guy about it, because we have a guy come here to do work with machine, and we're just kind of curious if it is. But she says the reason why she doesn't think it was him, because he was here like a month ago, and this just looks way more recent than that. And she said it just appeared, like she only noticed it the other day, and she said she walks by this area all the time. And I'm looking at like this area right here. It's kind of noticeable, and it just doesn't make sense why that's there, and it's nowhere else in the property. So weird stuff's happening. Crop circles, crop circles, magical creatures, government glow-in-the-dark agents. Who knows? But something on the property is weird. I will follow up if it's the guy's machine, but as my sister says, it's probably not that. So one of the things I want to show is, I like to call them, what's the term? Like, I've talked about habitation circles or fairy circles, but I guess if we should use the term fairy circle, we should use it to describe a more concentrated area in terms of activity. Maybe calling them courts to describe, like how they call it the Seelie and Unseelie court. Kind of use the court phrase to describe like, the big element of it. So when you get to an area, this is the one on the property, I would say. Go a little slower. There's a little bit of pathway there, and then there's kind of an interesting natural kind of L shape. Because the pathway goes right here, but the shape goes that way. Anyway, you can kind of get a feel when you come to an area like this and be like, this has really got a lot of energy. So, in many ways, when you want to go to a specific habitation circle, you're going to want to, have specific entities or specific interactions there with entity or entities. But in a more public space like that, you're going to want to have to do different kind of stuff, more public interactions. Just walking through the property. I'm going to quickly go to one of my dragons, because I recently armed them with new stuff, minions, basically. But these big stumps you see, they're very useful, and as bastions for habitation circles. The only reason why I have dragons in habitation circles that are associated with dead tree stumps is because the stumps produce a great deal of water vapor, and well, that's what Miss Dragons consume in a large part, water vapor. So it's kind of convenient. Came across something rather low maintenance that has specific correspondences with things I'm interested in. But Dragons be smart. My sister was saying the redwoods have known about the white man cometh for a long time before they ever came. Willing to entertain that. I do think that anyway, and one of the things I wanted to talk about is I don't want to show too much of the landscape. I don't want you autists to figure out exactly where the sanctuary, yes, it's the forest sanctuary, is at, based off figuring out positions of the road. So this is the biggest tree stump on the property. It's massive. And it's really cool because you can look through the holes in the tree stump in the front and look into Giant's field, which is kind of important because it's like, you can see the energy of from Giant's Fields, the grave there on psychedelics. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I cleared a bunch of stuff over here because it'd be like Minecraft. We're gonna put plants here, but the folks were like, we're gonna put road pathways in here and get that leveled out. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't do a lot, or this working, like some of those spots are going to be useful, but like that one and that one are probably going to be turned into a pathway. Not really sure. But those ones will be good. But one of the things I've noticed here is my sister was like, I don't know if we're gonna, how long we're gonna grow out here, and I'm just looking at, kind of the terrain. If you look really closely, it's very kind of mossy in certain areas. We cleared out a lot of this area, but I'm just looking at this and like, this is very, what's the word I want to use? It's got a lot of raw elemental power that I don't want to say is associated with any sort of, it's not kami yet. It's like raw potentiality. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a good place to put big plants if we want them to be imbued with stuff, as the farmers. But you want to, keep in mind things like that too. When you have a nice big property like this, you're going to want to be thinking about not just like the position of the sunlight, but like the locality. Because these bushes we cut, maybe they had some sort of energy associated with them, dryadic intelligence. I don't think so. But things, my sister said, the trees here have been known 20 years prior that we would come here. I'm willing to entertain it because, trees are wands. And there's the Giant's Field. So yeah, if you look at Giant's Field, and you can it was really cool. But anyway, that is the update. I've got this nice big property to work, and as it develops, I will share with you guys the details of it. But regarding that circle pattern, all I have to say is the dragons have been really kind of funking around over the past year in terms of showing off that they're here. That might be them.